कुंज बिहारी। जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन। यामुनतीरावनचारी। यामुनतीरावनचारी। जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय ओं विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्र सदश्री श्रीमद एसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। So today we are reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, chapter The Killing of the Demon Putana, text 41. So please repeat after me. Katadhumasya saurabhyam avagrahaya vraja okasaha kim idam kutah eva iti vadantah vrajam ayayuhu. Katadhumasya saurabhyam avagraya vrajaukasa jaukasah king idang king kuta eveti vadanto vrajama ayayuhu. Thank you. Enough. Katadhumasya saurabhyam avagraya vrajaukasa kim idam kuta eveti वदन्तो व्रजमाययुः कटधूमस्य सौरभ्यम् अवग्राय व्रजौकसः किम् इदं कुत एवेति वदन्तो व्रजमाययुः कटधूमस्य सौरभ्यम् अवग्राय व्रजौकसः किम् इदं कुत एवेति वदन्तो व्रजमाययुः कटधूमस्य सौरभ्यम् अवग्राय व्रजौकसः किम् इदं कुत एवेति वदन्तो व्रजमाययुः कटधूमस्य सौरभ्यम् अवग्राय व्रजौकसः किम् इदं कुत एवेति वदन्तो व्रजमाययुः। माताजी, कटधूमस्य सौरभ्यम् एवेति Kutadhumasya, of the smoke emanating from the fire burning the different parts of Putana's body. Saurabhyam, the fragrance. Avagraya, when they smell through their nostrils. Vraja Okasaha, the inhabitants of Vrajabhumi in distant places. Kimidam, what is this? What is this fragrance? Kutaha, where does it come from? Eva, indeed. Iti, in this way. Vadantaha, speaking. Vrajam, the place of Nanda Maharaja. Vrajabhumi. Ayayuhu, reached. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON. Translation. Upon smelling the fragrance of the smoke emanating from Putana's burning body, many inhabitants of Vrajabhumi in distant places were astonished. Where is this fragrance coming from? They asked. Thus they went to the spot where Putana's body was being burnt. Purport. The aroma of the smoke emanating from a burning fire is not always very favorable. Therefore, upon smelling such a wonderful fragrance, the inhabitants of Vraja were astonished. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vikasa Swaminiti Namine. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Katadhumasya Saurabhyam Avagraya Vrajaukasaha Kim idam kuta eveti vadanto vrajamayayuhu. Upon smelling the fragrance of the smoke emanating from Putana's burning body, many inhabitants of Vrajabhumi in distant places were astonished. Where is the fragrance coming from? They asked. Thus they went to the spot where Putana's body was being burnt. So now you can see here after in the last few verses, maybe 4 or 5 verses. So what is Krishna's unique position and Putana's what was Putana's situation and how Putana got a great opportunity by the mercy of the Supreme Lord. So she was given a very elevated status, and also the details of the different gopis and how when they favorably offered the milk, what was their status. All the details were discussed in the previous verses. Now Shukadeva Goswami is again coming back. What is happening in the in Vrindavan. He's now explaining that when Putana's body was burnt, the aroma, that was the fragrance that was coming from the body, was so pleasant, was really captivating everyone. So here we can see it is the words used, kata dhumasya, of the smoke emanating from the fire burning the different parts of the Putana's body. So it is also like in a cremation ground when the body is being burnt. So it's like that. That is what the acharyas are explaining. Then so the fragrance, when everybody smelled the fragrance, so saurabhyam avagraya, so it was very pleasant. The smell was very pleasant. So that was quite surprising for the inhabitants of the Vrindavan. Srila Prabhupada, in the beginning of the purport, is making the point that the aroma of the smoke emanating from a burning fire is not always very favorable. So that we all have this experience. Today, just before Mangalarti, while I was putting tilak, there was a special fragrance that was coming from nearby. Maybe they were burning the plastics, or maybe they were burning the tire. Often we see around this area. Sometimes it was a horrible smell. And specifically, we also know when we pass by a crematorium ground, or you can see when the dead body is being burnt, you can see the smell is you don't want to smell it. So that is the realistic situation. Now here the amazing thing that happened is Putana's body, the smell was the fragrance was very, very pleasing. It was very attractive. So here it is explained that those residents, so it is said, Kim idam kuta eveti vadanti brajamayayu. Those residents who were staying quite far off from the place where she was being burnt, the smell was, they were attracted by that smell. What is this? From where is this smell coming? So they were very much attracted. Now there are few more descriptions given about this how by the touch of the Supreme Lord. So we all know that because Krishna touched her, so because of the touch, although she was Rakshashi, she was always hankering for the blood of the children, she was very fearful and very she was such a Rakshashi that she was very horrible, but still by the mercy of the Lord, so this was a transformation that happened. Because the Lord touched her body, everything became very auspicious. So that's one of the important point. Now so Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur in his commentary explains, he is saying that where does the smell come from? Is this Aguru incense coming down from Indrapuri through the earth and trying to enter Sutala? Or is it ascending from Bali's abode on Sutala through the earth up to Swarga? Or is it coming from Kuvera's city in the north, or from Varuna's city in the west? In this way, the cowherd men entertained many questions. So they were all completely amazed. So they were discussing, what is this? We have never smelled anything like this. And there is few more descriptions given in the by Kavi Karnapur in Ananda Vrindavana Champu. Short, I'll just read that. Meanwhile, the Vrajavasis chopped up the gigantic body of Putana, took it away and burnt it. From a distance, that burning body, spewing forth deep black smoke and many sparks, looked like a monsoon cloud illuminated by streaks of lightning. Because Krishna had touched Putana, the smoke rising from her burning body filled every planet up to Vaikunta with a sweet aroma. Everyone enjoyed that fragrance which smelled like incense of aguru and sandalwood. The rain falling through that fragrant smoke saturated the earth with a sweet smell. Vrajaraja Nanda returned from Mathura amidst all this commotion. Observing the smoke and feeling apprehensive, the associates of Nanda said, "O king of Vrindavana, is this a blue wheel blowing in the wind and reaching up to touch the feet of a celestial lady? Or is it the tips of tall grasses or the rays emanating from the jewels on the hoods of huge serpents from Rasatala trying to pierce the coverings of the universe? Or is it the running back and forth of the elephants that hold up the four directions? Is it clouds falling on the ground and again rising up to pollute the entire sky? Or is it the mood of the goddess Earth during her monthly contamination period ascending to heaven? Or has a dense cloud of darkness suddenly spread throughout the universe?" Moving closer to Putana, the elderly Gopas wondered, where has all this aromatic smoke suddenly come from? Has the fragrance of the earth, expressing its desire to conquer the sky, taken the form of smoke to spread throughout the world? So they were all completely amazed. They were completely stunned to see such an event taking place. So as we saw in the previous verses, that the Gopas, along with Nanda Maharaj, they were in Mathura. They were on the way. First of all, they were totally stunned seeing the body which is the size of a mountain. So they were wondering, what is this? And then again, after the body is being cut into pieces and then when it is being burnt, then the aroma that was coming was very, very sweet and it was very pleasing. And again, little bit more, some more information is there in Garga Samhita. The Narada Muni is explaining this. So he says, cutting up with axes and making many pyres of Sri Yamuna's shore, the Gopas burned her body. And then he says, he further explains, Ela Lavanga Shrikanda Tagaraguru Gandhibrit Dhumo Dhagdasya Dehasya Pavitrasya Samutittaha. The smoke that rose from her now purified burning body was fragrant as Ela. Ela maybe it's Elaichi. Lavanga and Shrikanda, Tagra, I don't know what's Tagra, again it's some fragrant, Tagra and Aguru, like sandal. So this was the description given. All this smell when it is, how fragrant it will be. So that was the smell that was coming from her body. Again, it was great astonishment. So he says, Aho Krishnam Mrite Kamva Vrajama Sharanam Tviha Putanai Moksha Gatim Dado Patita Pavanaha. Of whom else but Krishna will we take shelter? The purifier of the fallen, Patita Pavanaha. He gave liberation to Putana. So this was the description. So that there was a great astonishment by all the residents of Vrindavan. So now this is the glory of the Supreme Lord. So anybody who comes in touch with the Supreme Lord, then the auspiciousness begins. So that's what the scriptures also says, that that one may be engaged in so many different kinds of rituals. Even you can see Smartas perform so many rituals, but the most important in the rituals, the most important factor is to remember the Lord, the remembrance of the Lord, the chanting of His names. That's very important. Otherwise, the whole point is lost. Smartavyam sadatam Vishnu, vismartavyam najatuchit, sarve vidhi nishedasyat, etayor eva kinkaraha. So this is the whole essence, that all the rules and regulations are subservient to this principle. Which principle? The principle of always remembering Krishna and never forgetting Krishna. So by that process, we are always in touch with the Supreme Lord. So when we are in touch with the Supreme Lord, our whole existence becomes auspicious. Otherwise, you may do so many things, but if that is not in relation with Krishna, if you don't remember Krishna, if you don't chant His names, then that becomes nishphalam. So that's an important point. And now we can see Krishna's touch. It happens in various ways. Specifically, the Lord has descended in Kali Yuga in the name of His holy name. So there's a great opportunity. One may say that I'm not able to see Krishna, but by chanting his names, coming in touch with him, by chanting his names, we are actually directly in touch with Krishna. Krishna's name and Krishna himself, there is no difference. Nama Chintamani Krishnasya Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Shuddhau Nitya Muktau Abhinnatvam Nama Namino. Nama Namino. There is no difference between the name and the personality himself. So we have got a great opportunity that to associate with the Lord by chanting his names. And we see here also it is explained that the Lord's holy name, when chanted in the association of devotees, it becomes very powerful. So in fact, we can properly chant the names of Krishna only in the association of devotees. We can see here, we can see in the Prema Vivarta, there is an important instruction that is given about chanting the name in the association of devotees. If you do not chant the name in the association of devotees, or if you are in the association of non-devotees or Mayavadis or anyone who is an offender of the Lord, the real chanting does not take place. Actually, it's not really the chanting of the name. So Jagadananda Pandit, he says, Asadu sange bhai Krishna naam nahi hai, namakshara bahirai bhate tabu naam kabunai. So he says that one can purely chant Krishna's name one cannot chant pure name of Krishna in the association of non-devotees. The sound and the syllables may be uttered, but that is not the real chanting. So see, on one hand we have the great mercy of the Lord. Again, on the other hand, there is also the proper way by which we approach the holy name. Specifically, if we are going to associate with the offenders, the Mayavadis who completely deny the form of the Lord, deny his existence. So we have to be very careful about that. Now again we can see how we get in touch with the Lord, how we get in touch with the Lord's mercy. The Lord's mercy comes through the association of his pure devotees. The holy name, how do we get the holy name? We get the holy name by the association of devotees. So the association of the Supreme Lord is very purifying and very auspicious. And even the association of his devotees is what brings us this auspiciousness. Because when we come in association of devotees, the devotees immediately remind us about the Lord's name, form, qualities, and ityadi, like that. Now, in the Bhagavatam, we know that anything that is associated with the Lord has got a very powerful effect. The Ganga is very much glorified because it washed the lotus feet of the Lord, and anybody who bathes in Ganga, he is purified. Now, there is a verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam which again emphasizes the power of the devotional service with respect to his devotees. So, by bathing in the Ganga, you get purified, but then by associating with the devotees, in the purification, you get more purified. That is mentioned. But again, there is another verse which glorifies, which in the 19th chapter, when Shukadeva Goswami was coming to in the arena of all the rishis, he comes in front of Parikshit. So at that time, there is a verse which very nicely explains that. It says that Yesham Sangsmaranat Pumsam Sadhya Shuddhyanti Vaigrihaha King Punar Darsham Sparsha Pada Sauchanu Sannidhibihi. So it explains that Yesham Samsaranat Pumsam Samsmaranat Pumsam. So by the remembrance of the pure devotee. So the one is that the sadhu comes to a place and then he purifies that place. But even just by remembering a pure devotee, one is purified. One becomes extremely benefited. His whole existence becomes very auspicious. Sadhya Shuddhyanti Vaigraha. So when they come to the house of a family man, their only intention is to give their association and purify them. So one thing is that they're physically coming to the house. Another thing, even if someone remembers the devotee, then it's such a purification. King Punar Dharshana. So Pada. So and then what to speak of touching them, what to speak of washing their lotus feet, what to speak of giving them asana, and like that. It is being explained. So So that we can see that this is what it is. So by the touch of Krishna, his pure devotees, anything associated with Krishna, it creates all auspiciousness in one's life. And we can see the great proof is the Hare Krishna movement. So many people who were who before coming in touch with the Krishna consciousness movement, we can think of what was they can think what was their life before coming in touch with the Krishna consciousness movement. Some of them were drunkards, some of them were womanizers, some of them were meat eaters. They were engaged in so many sinful activities. But by the power of a pure devotee, Srila Prabhupada went to the West. He started the Hare Krishna movement, and he was chanting Krishna's name. He was sitting under the Tompkins Square Park, and then he was chanting Hare Krishna. And by this powerful chanting, and so many people came in association with him, and they were hearing the holy name. They were hearing Harikatha, and then they got the blessing to get the Krishna Prasadam, and we can see great transformations happen in their lives. So many people from various sinful background, Srila Prabhupada created such a revolution. He made crows into swans. That is Prabhupada's great revolution. So, and Prabhupada, as we saw in the previous purports, also Srila Prabhupada many times emphasizes that this practice of Krishna consciousness is not a sentimental process. It's a process which is solidly grounded on philosophy, which is very much Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. So we hear from the spiritual master, we hear from the great saints who follow the scriptures, and very much our pramana or our evidence in following the principles is based on scripture. So so when a pure devotee comes and gives this process, he engages us in chanting the names of the Lord, offering obeisances to the Lord, honoring prasadam, chanting the names, and on top of that, whatever may be our levels of purification, he engages us in preaching the glories of the Lord. So now if we understand the power of devotional service, and also how we can remain as instruments in the service of the Lord, and we can be part of this the flow of mercy which comes directly from Krishna through his pure devotees. So we can be an instrument in this. And then what happens? Like here, we can see here how Putana, although she was her body was abominable, but because by the touch of Krishna, she became there was fragrance coming out. Similarly, whatever may be our background, whatever we might have done in the previous lives or before coming to Krishna consciousness, whatever might have been our activities, but by coming in touch with with Krishna through the pure devotee, by chanting his name, by honoring prasadam, our whole existence becomes all auspicious. Everything becomes extremely auspicious. So this is the power of the chanting of the holy names. This is the power of the association of devotees. And we can see here that as we saw in the previous verses also, that how is it that such a destination Putana got? So simply we may give so many explanations. Ultimately it just boils down to the point that it is the great compassion of the Supreme Lord. So that's what in the discussion between Uddhava and Maitreya, Uddhava and Vidura, Uddhava makes the point that so why Krishna is what is the glory of Krishna? That is that Dayalu. This whole quality of Krishna's compassion is emphasized. Yesterday we were hearing how Krishna looks at the brighter side of any jiva. So that is his merciful nature. So if when he is so merciful, so we have to understand that even when for someone who is demoniac, the Lord is, if someone approaches the Lord, gives his mercy, so then we have to take, then if we abide by his instructions, become more eager to serve the Lord, and become eager to hear about him, and spread his glories, how dear we will become. So this is the point. This is what we need to understand, and we need to derive inspiration from this end, the whole Putana Leela. We can in this Leela we can see how the Lord reciprocates with his pure devotees, and how the Lord Although he may, someone may be a demon who has demoniac attitudes, but if Krishna wants, he can create a transformation in someone's heart. So that is possible. So the point is that when we practice our spiritual life, we may have difficulties. We have difficulties. We have so many obstacles. But then, as Srila Rupa Goswami points out, we need to be very patient. We need to be enthusiastic, and we need to be determined. So yesterday I was discussing with one devotee. He was saying that so many, because of my bad samskaras and so many bad things I've done in the past, it's often I'm not feeling inspired. I'm feeling unenthusiastic. So, but when we read from Gita, Bhagavatam, and when we see the lives of devotees, how they were before and how they are now, so everybody has got a history. So we need to be. So that's a very important thing, that we need to have faith in the process. That's one thing, and also we need to be patient. That's very important. We need to be patient, and we should just go on with the process. So sticking to the process itself is actually advancement. Although there may be difficulties, but we need to have faith. If I chant the holy names, if I associate with devotees, if I continue, as Srila Prabhupada concluded in yesterday's purport, is a really very amazing point Prabhupada makes. He says that as recommended by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Krishnere samsare kare chadi anachar. One should give up all sinful activities and remain in the family of Krishna. Then he says that then one's liberation is guaranteed. So this is the point, that simply sticking with the devotees, in the sense that we need to associate with devotees, hear from them, and sincerely try to practice, try to offer prayers to the Lord, chant the holy name sincerely, engage in service with absorption. So and when we associate with those devotees who are really fixed up, we will also get inspiration. That is for sure. There's no doubt about that. And we can see Krishna also in the Gita. He's giving that assurance. He's saying that many men in the past have done this. So Vita Raga Bhayakroda Manmaya Mam Upashitaha Bahavo Jnana Tapasa Putamad Bhava Magataha. Krishna says that many men in the past have become purified by engaging in this process of devotional service. Yeah. So it is very very good for us to perform austerities in the path of devotional service. So waking up early in the morning, chanting our rounds, avoiding anukulyasa sankalpa, pratikulyasa varjana, whatever that is unfavorable to devotional service, avoiding that. Whatever is favorable to devotional service, taking to that very eagerly. So all these things will very much help us. And when we also read Bhagavatam and we see the lives of the great devotees, and we can see how from seeing the life of Srila Prabhupada himself, how he underwent so much of struggle, and then how he, with great patience, determination, sticking to the words of his spiritual master, he went out and he preached. So from this we have to derive inspiration. So that's the whole point. And we can also see many times when we see many devotees who joined the movement, we can ask some of them what they were doing before, and you can see some of them were they were drunkards. Some of them, and how they themselves are surprised how they gave up that habit. So that's the power of prasadam, that's the power of holy name, that's the power of association of devotees. So when on a gross level we are able to give up some things, and then so that means what the devotional service works, it is highly potent, and further we stick to it and we avoid the offenses, then we can make progress for sure. So we have to take the process seriously. So when we say seriously, that means that from our side we have to do our job also. From our side, Krishna's mercy is there on one side, that's there. But from our side, Krishna is expecting us to do some things. So what are those things? As Prabhupada mentioned in the previous, Vishaya Chadiya, Sera Semajiya, Muke Bolo Hari Hari. Lochanadas Thakur says, give up this process of give up this idea of sense gratification and chant the holy names. Well, by chanting the holy names, gradually this change will happen in our heart. So it's so to the degree we take up seriously, to that degree we'll be purified. And also, definitely the mercy of the Lord and mercy of the devotees, it plays a very important factor. So we have to constantly beg for the mercy, and then also we should fight it out. We should not. It's not that we try for some time, and then we should not say that, oh, the process is not working. I've been practicing for quite some time. maybe let me try something else. But that's not the reality. It is, if it is not working for us, or if we are, I mean, the sense that it is working, if we are not seeing significant advancement, then we need to understand that maybe we are making some mistake somewhere. We are wrong. We are doing something wrong somewhere. So we should have this thinking rather than blaming the process or blaming someone else. We should be a little thoughtful. Go and then speak to a devotee and then get suggestions from them what to do, how to work out. So the whole framework, the process is very clear that we chant the names of Krishna, we hear Gita and Bhagavatam, we honor only prasadam, we associate with the devotees, and then we take part in the Sankirtana Yagya. So this is the process. This is a solid process that is given to us, and if we stick to this process sincerely, definitely we will get the mercy of the Lord. That's for sure. That's why Srila Prabhupada started this International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So he wanted people from all nook and corners of the world to come in association with devotees, and then come in touch with devotees, take up this process of devotional service. So that is the whole idea of the program of book distribution, Harinam Sankirtan. We go out in the streets and chant the names of the Lord. So the whole idea is what? To somehow or other attract the minds of the people to hear the holy name, to come in touch with the transcendental message. So that's why many times we see devotees go out, then they even somebody may not be interested to buy the book. So okay, at least you touch this. You just give a oral reception to this. Sometimes they hear, they touch, they become favorable to devotees. Auspiciousness is already started for them. Yesterday we were hearing how the Agyata Sukriti works. So he may not buy the book now. Maybe he may become very favorable to a devotee. He may buy a book next time. But we should give a favorable impression in the minds of the people. So because they do not know what a potency this devotional service has got, but we have some experience. Yeah, at least factually we are seeing what we were before and what we are doing now. So we should have this faith, and we should go out and then preach this. We should give this knowledge. So then the life of the conditioned soul, which was not actually what is happening is it's actually stinking. The material life stinks actually. That's the reality. There is nothing glorious about it. Just eating, sleeping, reproducing, defending, and we have been doing this in so many lifetimes. So many things we have done. We have we have hankered for name, fame, glories. We have been in several positions. We have experienced all kinds of relationships in so many lifetimes. But we can see we have not been completely happy. So, but now that opportunity is there, that this Krishna consciousness can give that great happiness. So that's why we can see in this modern world, people are trying for happiness in various relationships. But unless there is Krishna in the center, unless we bring the Supreme Lord in the center, whatever we may try, we will at the end of the day we will end up in frustration. So Srila Prabhupada, in one of the lectures, he says that so the touch of Krishna is missing. So he says the touch of Krishna is required, and we can see by the touch of Krishna how Putana's existence became glorious. Similarly, in our life also, if we come in touch of Krishna, and if we create opportunities for others to touch Krishna, then our life will also become glorious. So I'll stop here. You have any comments or realizations or any points to add? Yes, bro.
I was just going to say that the material world's a horrible place, full of disgusting, horrible things, with no happiness whatsoever. And in that situation, we look to Krishna for some protection, and Krishna sends his pure devotee. So if we associate with a pure devotee, then we can go back to Krishna, because the pure devotee carries Krishna in his heart. So the more association we get, the more inspired we become in Krishna consciousness. It's exactly what you said.
Yes, yeah, that's the point. So Krishna's mercy flows through the pure devotees. The pure devotees give the association, and Srila Prabhupada is the founder Acharya, and through his books and by the process that he has given, so many people are getting benefited, and it's a simple, straightforward process. We have faith and we work on that, and really all auspicious will happen in this entire entire world, and that's what is actually lacking.
You have to remember how much suffering is in material, and that's why we come to Krishna consciousness. But once we come there, Maya tries to take us out again.
Yes.
So that's why we have to be very vigilant and follow the process and associate with devotees. Maya doesn't take us back out again to that horrible material world.
Yeah, we saw in some of the letters Prabhupada is using this word sincerely and seriously. Many times we see that he is making this point sincerely and seriously. So, yeah, as you say, after we coming in touch with Krishna consciousness, we got a great opportunity. If we become slack and we become lethargic, then we commit offenses, then we lose track, and then yeah, that's a danger. So, as you say, we have to be very vigilant and then take good association and then
every day you have to get a more taste. It has to be increasing more and more. And if you do like that, it never stops. But if it decreases, then you'll have difficulties. So you have to increase the taste every day.
By associating with devotees like you, it'll happen.
We associate with devotees like you, it will happen.
Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.